The reason people seem to abandon you whenever you need them most, nobody's there to stand beside you, is simply because more often than not, you realize that you cared for people in a way that they didn't just care for you at all. And they were just there because they wanted to feel like they were part of your energy, right? They wanted to feel like there was something more to them by being around you. And all too often, we see these trials of true friendship and kinship with one another in today's day and age. You know, we look at these immaculate stories and these fictions. Now, fiction is not really a fiction when it comes true, right? It may be fiction or a vision today, maybe a dream today, but tomorrow it can be the truth. And when we make dreams made actualized, a lot of people are going to cheer you on until you actually start to show them that you're actually going to do it. You're actually going to make this happen. And this is where they all want to be your friend again when you're at the end zone, right? When you're at the end zone or when you hit the home run, that's when people want to be around you again. They want to make it seem like, oh, well, I supported you when you were down and out, you know. Like I had somebody that I knew when I first started making YouTube videos, because I started with 0 subscribers just like anybody else. And when I had like 13 or 14 subscribers, somebody in my community, I had told them about it and they had found out that I was making videos. And by that time I had made, 5 or 6 videos, but had pretty much no traction. I didn't get traction on any of the videos that I did up until I was, 20 videos in. And this was years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. And, this person, they said, oh, I'll subscribe to you. And I could feel this, like, they're acting like they're doing me a favor, subscribing to me. And I said, well, I don't want you to subscribe unless you want to. Oh, I want to. And I said, no, like you just asked me what I was up to, and this is what I've been up to. And, I thought we were chill enough to just be honest with each other. And then I started to actually do well a few months later. A few months later after that, I started to have, like 1,000 followers. At the time, that was huge for me, right? At the time, it was just like amazing to have subscribers and like I could actually do this, And then it got more and it got more. And then soon enough, as soon as I hit about 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers, this person and I never heard from them again. Never heard from them again. And this was just such a profound moment of realization for me, because it went to show that they only wanted to make it feel like they were supported. Like they wanted to support me in a way which made them feel like they were doing me a favor so that I could feel indebted to them. Like, oh, well, now that you made it, I supported you when you were down and out. When you had like nobody, I was there for you. I hit that button on the screen for you. Now you owe me. And then once I got there, to even just a little bit of who I wanted to be and how I wanted to be it, nowhere to be found, because things started to get too real. They started to get too true. Because those that are familiar with my work, I differentiate between real and true. Because that which is real is not always true, but that which is true is always going to be real. That's what I mean when I say like that which is a dream today will be made manifest tomorrow or actualized tomorrow. It's probably because it's true. Because truth is timeless. And there's a lot of us who want to perceive reality in a certain way or truth in a certain way that fits a narrative in our own minds, and we have to learn how to let go of those narratives. Because something that I've learned is that most people are just not your friend. you know, and the people, it's always going to be the people that you think are most loyal to you that end up, you know, stabbing you in the back or whatever down the line. And it's a harsh truth sometimes, you know, it's a harsh truth. And it's so hard to differentiate sometimes, because you don't know why you feel the way that you do. You just know that you feel like there's nobody around, like there's really nobody that truly cares. And that's actually a liberation. You know, it may seem lonely, it may seem isolating, but it's actually quite liberating once you get past the fact that it's, you know, kind of ridiculous and it hurts a lot. But you get to a point where you'd realize that you'd rather be open-hearted and see the energy of people. You know, don't be stupid, but, you know, don't guard your privacy, or don't guard your inner self out of fear, but out of self-respect. You know, don't move from a place of fear, but from self-respect. You do this, and you'll see that, you know, there's more people that are actually, you know, willing to have your back than you think. It's just a matter of letting go of these old timeline structures and narratives in the old timeline, because this whole path can be very isolating. You know, this whole journey of life can change. I don't even know what I'm going to title this video. I just kind of felt like talking about something because it was on my mind. And you know, life can change in an instant, and it can be very challenging or it can be very freeing. It's really up to you on how you interpret the struggle, or how you interpret the challenge. You know, are you going to show up and do what you need to do no matter what? Or like, I saw this meme a while ago, and it was like a young kid, and he's like, oh, I'm not ready yet. And then it was an adult, and then it was like, ooh, I'm almost ready. And then it was, you know, dead guy with no skin and just bones. And it's like, ooh, I'm still almost ready. And that's unfortunately a lot of people. You know, beware of the people that say, oh, I'm not ready yet. Oh, I'm not ready yet. Beware of that. Because, and beware of yourself telling yourself this, because what you're putting off is actually what you need to confront. And that's another truth that a lot of people don't want to hear. However, it's just the case that wherever, I mean, this is shown in mythologies time and time again. Wherever the dragon is, that's where the greatest treasure is. And like in the Holy Grail, every night, if you've ever read this book, where is it? Oh yeah, this book, it's a great book. And it basically goes in about Parsifal, and how he wants to find the Holy Grail, right? And the Holy Grail is essentially, well, everlasting life. And Parsifal ends up realizing that he never needed to do anything other than just, you know, be in the process to have the Holy Grail. And that is the Holy Grail, is to be the process. If you keep pushing off things, thinking that you're not ready, like maybe there's a difference between recovery and fear of facing adversity. Okay, if you need to recover. I talk about this because this is something that's come up in multiple calls recently, and just in general with the theme of life and the spirit of the time. It seems like there's a lot of people that are wanting to, like, they want to keep pushing things off. But here's the thing, right? Okay, for those of you that are aware of astrology, we are in Mercury retrograde. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. But we are in Mercury retrograde right now, and it'll be out of Mercury retrograde on July 23rd. But we've been in Mercury retrograde for almost a month now. And what that does is all of these old thought patterns or relationships where they were kind of toxic, or old timelines that were toxic, try to seep back in, right? And it's kind of more of a communication toxicity that kind of seeps back in. So that's going to go away on July 23rd, right? Well, guess what happens on July 26th? We have the Saturn retrograde. So what retrograde means is that in the sky it looks like the planets are reversing in their circular rhythms. And usually when this happens, there's an opposite reaction. Like Mercury is a symbol for, clear communication and all of that. And, Mercury is in alchemy the substance of substances, but it's the prima materia basically. And well, the prima materia is, that's a whole other story. We'll get into that another time. But essentially, what we want to focus on is recognizing that the Saturn return and the Saturn retrograde is coming back July 26th. So that's going to be for a long time. And what we're going to have to go through is a lot of shadow work during this time. And so you kind of just have to accept that things are going to go the way that they're going to go, and stay true, stay disciplined, but don't be disciplined for discipline's sake. Don't overthink things. Just recognize what it is as it is and move accordingly. So I trust this message reached those that are interested in godlike mastery education and Regal Academia. Apply for the godlike mastery offer or join the Regal Academy. Otherwise, peace be with you. Be blessed. Until next time.